How's it going, everyone? My name's Aiden. Welcome back. Today's day 252 of post back on this channel. Back in the journey once again. Hopefully, you all are having such a great Wednesday today. Another day in the week, of course. We are back. 2 more days until the weekend, so let's keep on pushing through and keep on going. But with that being said, today's message that I want to talk about is sometimes confidence isn't always loud, it's being calm. Before we get to today's message, let's talk about the day real quick. Only thing I've done today is go on a 3 mile run. Very nice. Felt comforting. Was enjoyable. The only thing I have today is class, and yeah, the only thing I really look forward to is going to sleep. So that should be fun. But back to today's message. Confidence isn't always loud. Sometimes it's calming. I think one of the most powerful times you have energy within yourself is when you aren't begging to be seen by other people. You know, that really screams out that you have confidence in yourself. But you're not screaming it out to the world for everybody to hear. It's within you. Like I said, I talked about yesterday's video about peace, and in order to really incorporate peace into your life, you have to have like self acceptance of things. You have to accept the fact that you're not always going to be someone's first priority. That you aren't meant to audition for love. You aren't meant to, beg and be seen by others. I think something that we can all agree on is growing up, the highest form of validation was being selected. Pick me for the team, please. Come on, pick me for this job. I swear you won't regret it. Come on, please stay with me. Like we love each other. Like we can make this work. I just like the highest form of validation that we had growing up was to be selected, was to be the one, at least for something or someone. But when you realize to yourself that you don't always have to be picked first, you don't always like have to be wanted, that's when that energy tends to build up. The most powerful energy, of course, the confidence that you don't always have to have somebody by your side, always, you know, supporting you, always, getting you through things. Sometimes you could just do it by yourself. This is kind of what I'm talking about when you should incorporate peace within yourself. It's not that you should be waiting at someone else's place, but you become your own sanctuary. You know, it's not that you're always, begging for someone to build a house with them. You build a house on your own. And I think, if you build the foundation for yourself of being accepted within yourself, you start to give yourself that good old self love, and self appreciation. All of it starts to fall into place. That energy will build up. And I think that's something that's not really seen these days. At least I think a lot of people, still depend on each other. And that's okay. They depend on people, for times, that you really need it. I mean, that's what friends are for. But all the time, you should at least be building something within yourself. You should become your own best friend. Because at the end of the day, you can have the love of your life, you can have your family, You can have all these friends that you have, but who is really with you on those dark, gloomy days when nobody else is around? Yourself, me, you know? And that's something that I've realized when taking time for myself is that, I always wanted to be someone's first priority. I always wanted to, be the shining knight in armor for people. But not everyone is going to see me. I wanted to be, I always wanted to be, the person to glow in the room. But as I started kind of, you know, cutting off people that I realized I was watering, you know, dead plants for, I became within the room, you know? I feel okay not always being seen, not always being picked or wanted. And therefore, I've built my own home and I'm at peace. And this isn't saying, to completely isolate yourself and not, talk to anybody else around you and, just like figure out yourself on your own. But to just start realizing that you will not always be seen first. You will not always be picked in every scenario. And, you know, you are not supposed to be begging for other people to stay in your life. You should pick yourself first every single time. So, that most powerful energy that you'll ever have is just to not be seen. And from that, confidence will never, or should always be loud. It should be calmness, it should be relaxed. But with that being said, guys, I hope you all have such a great rest of the day. And remember to take care of yourself. You deserve you matter. And I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.